In this video we are going to delve into working with document libraries and documents. So I have already built a visual user interface by adding buttons and so forth to my web part, and I have included a file upload control called Uploader. And I've just created some buttons for saving a file, cancelling checkouts of files, checking out all of the files, checking in all of the files and so forth. And I have added those controls to the control tree. So what we're actually going to do is concentrate on the file operations themselves. Let's first of all do some documentation of files. So I've added my controls to the control tree and I'm just going to iterate through the files in a folder. So I'll first set my target folder to thisweb.lists shared documents.root folder. And for each file I'm going to report on whether it is checked out or not. And if it is checked out, we will document who it is checked out to. Iterating through files in the folder is very similar to iterating through list items in a list. We obtain a reference to the location and then we can use for each iterators. But we have different methods and properties, and in fact it's a different type of object, it's an SP file. So now let's have a look at uploading and saving a file to a SharePoint library. We've got our ASP.NET file uploader, and when the user clicks the Save File button, they will have already selected the file in the uploader. So we get a reference to the target folder, and we hardcode that in this case to the root folder of shared documents, and we will read the posted file byte by byte and add that to a stream. And then we will use that stream as the source of a new SP file object. And just for an example, we will immediately check out the file. Now that's not absolutely required, but it shows you how to call a method of your new SP file object. We will add similar code for manipulating files to the cancel checkout button. But this time what we will do is iterate through the existing files in the target folder.files, and if the file is checked out, we will undo the checkout. We have an alternative method here for checking out all of the files. So very similar code. We will iterate through the SP file collection and we will check out each file. And in this last method we do a very similar operation, but this time we check in files as long as they're checked out to the current user. The reason we show this is that when you check in a file programmatically, you are actually required to provide a comment. So we will provide a comment of checked in automatically. Let's build and deploy that solution, and we have quite a bit of functionality for working with files built into this web part now. So let's browse to the site and browse to our test page, and here we have our control with our file uploader and all of our buttons. The page load iterated through the current files and showed whether they were checked out or not. Let's choose a new graphic file and upload it, and we had a line of code that took us to the library to ensure it was uploaded. And indeed it was uploaded and checked out to us as we specified in our code. When we refresh the page, our page load will include that new file and show us that it is checked out to us. Let's cancel all checkouts for all files, and as you can see our code ran really quickly. When we go back to our page we can see that our file is no longer checked out to us. Let's choose the third button now to check out all files. So we will iterate through the file collection of the folder and call .checkout for each file. And when that has run, we can see that indeed all of those files are now checked out to us. And last but not least, we will go back and try the final button, which is to check all of those files in with a comment. And we have done that really quickly as well, and all of those files are now checked back in. When we look at the metadata that we have retrieved in our page load, you can see that we have also retrieved the comments. So to recap, we have SP file objects that we can manipulate. We can add them and save them based on streams. We can check them out, check them in. We can cancel the checkout with an undo checkout. And there are many more operations that you can perform on file objects as well. So for example, you can do a copy or a move or a delete and so forth. So hopefully that has given you a good introduction to working with files and document libraries.